penniless granddaughter.
Well, she has a sort of kind face, so she has.
This part of your spiel isn't nearly as well worked up as the other. You ought to get hold of a more powerful description. Well, trot the chromo out.
From a pocket of his brush jacket, O'Reilly dug a snapshot print showing a girl on a horse.
She's staying down here at the Two Pine boarding house.
At first, Hunter thought the girl was one he had known before, for a swift, odd sense of recognition touched him as he perceived the clean, alert lift of her head and the slim, relaxed grace with which she sat in the stock saddle. Her face, in the shadow of a big hat, was less clearly shown, but he could see that, from the camera's angle at least, this girl was lovely. Too lovely to be connected in any way with a crooked old wowser who was trying to sell a mythical mine. A gust of anger stirred him.
I don't know where you got this picture nor who it's of, but this I'll tell you flat. This girl hasn't any connection with any blue sky mine, nor with any Dutchman named O'Reilly either, and I've a mind to see you jailed.
Give me that back.
All right. But I'm going to drive down to Two Pine. I'm going to find out if this girl is there. And if your story doesn't tally, this country isn't going to hold you, you hear?
I won't ride with you. I'll go back by hand the way I come.
Suit yourself.
O'Reilly wilted.
My story's too good. It's so good nobody will believe it. I've got to have help, and have it soon. But if old Wild Bill's boy won't believe me, who will? I've tried 100 fellers, and they're as bad or worse than you. God knows, I'd like to haul off and bust you one, but you come very close to being the last shot in my gun.
Suddenly his voice turned shrill, intense, and he shook his clawed hands before Steve Hunter's eyes.
It's there! I know it's there! I know right where it is! A fortune, an everlasting fortune, lost in the hills, and I can't get to it. I tell you, I know!
He jerked from a pocket a United States Survey quadrangle, folded in innumerable accordion pleats.
It's these new maps showed me the light. I can stand here and put my finger on millions. Millions, boy, you hear me? Right here on this map. But if I don't set my finger down, your chance is gone, and maybe mine, and maybe hers too. And the fault is yours.
Steve Hunter blew smoke through his nose and studied the old man. It was incredible to him that anybody could lie so well.
Well, I still figure to drive to Two Pine.
That's more like Wild Bill's boy.
He led the way to Steve's battered mountain car at a shambling run. Down in front of the Two Pine boarding house, a long blue roadster stood, its chromium fittings a bright dazzle in the sun.
That rig belongs to the swivel-eared jackass that wants to stake me and horn in on my mine. Only I won't let him. Trying to trim me. That's him at the wheel, and the other one is my granddaughter. Hey, June!
Steve Hunter angled in beside the blue roadster and found himself looking directly into the eyes of the girl whom he had pronounced a myth. It was the girl of the snapshot, all right. Only this time there was no intervening shadow and no hat to hide her face. It was a thin face, tanned and lively. The soft, fine hair that framed it was the color of sunlight through autumn leaves. And her eyes, Steve could not have said whether they were green or brown or blue or sometimes all three in changing lights. But they were gentle, humorous, and awake. The myth spoke.
You're Steve Hunter, aren't you? This is Wally Parker.
Steve shook hands with the smooth-haired young man at the wheel without noticing him much. He was absorbed with a baffling contrast between the old wowser, with his weather-reddened nose and historic whiskers, and the slender, smiling girl in the other car. If this truly was O'Reilly's granddaughter, all that preposterous story about Lost Dutchman's gold needed a different explanation than that which he had so readily supplied. Wally Parker broke in. "Aren't you the hunter who runs the 3-bar pack outfit? Can I speak to you a minute?"
Sure.
Hunter, stepping to the boardwalk, found himself drawn along the walk by the stranger, out of earshot of the girl. "I suppose you've heard O'Reilly's story by this time. I'm the boy that drove him up to your place this morning. You didn't see me. I let him out a little way down the road."
Where do you come in?
I am the boy who takes a special and particular